Now here's what you get. This is the foundation. This is the basic premise of where you start in the gold rush. You build a second stream of income, as we talked about. Everybody you personally refer into the gold rush counts towards your silver and platinum bonus participation. And of course, you gain matching bonuses. Now we say lifetime, and I want to make a distinction here. Lifetime is, of course, designed for those who are active. And active in this company is, of course, defined by those who have an active order. So it's not like you leave the company, you're not active, and you keep these lifetime matching bonuses. They're lifetime so long as you are an active PC, and I want to make that distinction very clear here. So once you get into the gold rush, let's take some action steps. These are the steps you need to do. First, in order to be a qualified participant in the gold rush, you have to use your monthly green ticket. Without redeeming your ticket, you are not eligible to participate in the gold rush. Because what happens is every month, all or any of the unused green tickets in the company become eligible to be redeemed by gold rush qualified candidates. So that's the first thing you need to do, is use your green ticket. Once you've done that, there's a few steps you then need to initiate. Take action. First, you have to get in touch with those people on your wait list, because the way the system is right now, you are not notified when somebody gets on your wait list. You have to check your back office. As a matter of fact, it is recommended, and I know that Michael Briansky has said this on several occasions in his call, every day you should be logging into your back office, take a look around. There's always new things that are being posted, and now there will be even more on a regular basis. Take the action, check your back office, look to see if somebody's on your wait list. If you're qualified for Gold Rush, you must notify those people to click on the Gold Rush tab that is on your website and then follow the prompts. Now that Gold Rush tab only appears during the Gold Rush. It is turned on at the beginning, which means it was turned on today, and it will be taken down when the Gold Rush is complete. Now we've never set an actual time when it comes down. We've allowed for certain things due to the tech issues and so forth. So just know that that Gold Rush tab will be on your screen for as long as the Gold Rush, and that'll be every month that happens. It'll disappear, and then it comes back, and then it goes away, and then it comes back. So you have to take the action to get to your wait list and initiate them, send them the link, or get them to your spot and have them click on the Gold Rush and begin to enroll. Now the basis for this, and what you're seeing in this illustration, helps illustrate the simplistic nature of how the Gold Rush works. First, in this illustration, you are going to refer Jim into the Gold Rush via your wait list. There was an unused ticket. Jim is allowed entry. He now becomes and is identified as a Gold 100K PC. That's important to note because Jim now is gold. Once a gold to you, always a gold to you. That is what starts your second stream of income. Once a gold, always a gold. And as you look at this illustration, everything in Jim's organization will be gold income to you. And that's important. Now, for purposes of these illustrations, do not be confused. This is not the layout of the 124 lineage program. We have to lay this out on these slides because we can't make everything fit in one line. So we do this in order to illustrate, but I wanted to at least show you here that anything that happens thereafter in Jim's organization, and Jim you referred as a gold 100K, it's all gold to you. Now when the computer begins to scan for unused green tickets, it first looks down the 124 lineage. Okay, it's going to start heading down, looking and searching for unused green tickets and allowing for you to be able to redeem those from people on your wait list. If it does not locate an unused green ticket on the down way end of the lineage, it turns around and starts looking up the chain. It'll look up the 124 lineage And in this instance, we've illustrated how placement may be in that circumstance. And here you have referred Larry. Sue had an unused green ticket, and Larry redeemed it via your invitation, and Larry is placed up in the lineage. And that's the example of how that happens. And you'll see the power of this as it plays out. In this illustration here, we're using Larry. You have referred Larry as in the gold rush. That qualifies you for the matching bonus, which we identified at the beginning. That matching bonus is a 20% match on income from that gold 100K PC. So let's take a little closer look at how that may work. At the end of each month, the computer's going to tally all of Larry's income, both green and gold, and it's going to pay you at 20% of that amount. So for example, if Larry's total green and gold income was $500 in that month, you will receive a $100 match. Some of you have seen this illustration before. It's a little stripped down, and for the purposes of the remainder of the slides, we're going to refer to this. This was a chart that was posted by Mark a couple of months ago. It was certainly just before the holidays in the fall of last year to help illustrate how the gold rush works. And we've taken a lot of it away and we'll build onto it. Again, let me make the reference. This is not the corporate structure of 124. It is a straight linear line from here down, but in an effort to illustrate for purposes of what is happening, we did it this way. And if you note, we kind of laid out like a couple of organizations here. There's this one, there's Mary's over here, and here's you, okay? Now, what I want to do is go through the relationships of various placements and talk about the swinging gate. If there's one feature that is probably the most powerful, that is the cement and fiber of your organizations, it's the swinging gate. And here's a little of how it works. First of all, this first dotted line that's coming into the screen helps identify a placement that's right in your lineage. In other words, you brought John into the gold rush and that happened to fall right down there. Maybe Jay was the one that didn't use his ticket, and so it placed right under there, okay? As we go here, and you'll see the dotted lines that are coming into the screen represent your referrals into the gold rush. These are individuals that were on your wait list and now you have brought in. Notice the placement. It is random based upon what the software finds are the unused green tickets. And yes, many times those referrals will end up in other organizations. That's a good thing. You are still credited. You'll see how the power of that works. We will demonstrate, the idea and the stream or the flow of the income from those positions. But this is where Mark has created and Joe has confirmed that there is an ability here to diminish attrition, because what happens in placement from you here will also come back from other organizations back under you. So invariably, even though these are gold 100K PCs that you have referred in, others will be referred by others that will end up in your organization. And that is the fiber. Notice that you don't know these people, but it just happens. And that's where Mark says after 6 months, and if you're building, you're an aggressive business builder, and you're active in the gold rush, it becomes a train you cannot stop. And it's because of this swinging gate. It starts to swing back and forth based upon what's happening in placement. Very important and very powerful. So with that, let's look at some relationships and talk about the match. The match that we speak of pays up to 5 tiers. And it's all predicated on who sponsored who. So in our illustration here, you brought Larry in. You referred Larry. So you will receive a 20% match. Tom referred you. So Tom is now entitled to a 20% match monthly on Larry's income. Sue referred Tom, and Sue will receive a 20% match on Larry's monthly income. Ed referred Sue, and Ed's going to receive a 10% match on Larry's income. And Bob referred Ed, and so Bob will receive a 10% match from Larry's monthly income. And that's how the match works. Once again, Bob loves Larry and doesn't even know him. So in this example, we use an assumption that you only refer 5 active PCs. That's all you ever do, just 5. And the progression goes on. 5, then bring in 5, who bring in 5, who bring in 5, and you see the numerical progression. And let's say for this example, based on the 20, 20, 20, and the payments here, and the matches, each one averages, each of the PCs listed here, average $200 income per month. Here is your matching bonus income off of that. You don't even make it to the 5th tier and you've maxed out your gold program. It's extremely powerful. I will tell you this. There are those leaders presently in the company right now that have PCs that are averaging this right here, right now. And so that's very exciting because now if we play that out, and let's extrapolate some numbers, same assumptions, but now there are, the average income is $1,000 per PC. You begin to see what happens here in the power of that match. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years out, this will not be unrealistic because certainly we'll have additional products in. People will be ordering 2 or 3 times a month. This type of volume will be very common. And so that's kind of very interesting, but again, it illustrates the power of what happens here, all because of what happens in the gold rush in bringing this about. Now, John, and I want to do this in this particular slide, we're going to talk about different relationships in the position here. First, let's talk about John. John, as a gold 100K PC, is going to receive what? 12 tiers of compressed green and gold 100 PCs. He also gets 10 tiers of his regular compressed green and gold PCs, and he'll get a 20% matching bonus on any gold 100K PCs he brings in. Okay, now watch this. You, in your relationship to John, you're going to win big because of him being in your organization. There's a triple bonus that happens here, or a triple pay, if you will. First, John's position is going to pay you, as a gold 100K PC, 12 tiers of compressed green and gold. John's position pays you a match on his total check from his green and gold income. John's position pays you 10 more tiers of green and gold since he fell within your 12 tiers of regular tiers. And of course, John also pays a matching bonus to Tom, Sue, Ed, and Bob. Okay, they all participate in that match. Jay is going to get up to $100 per month because he is the gold 100 PC. Jay didn't use his ticket. Jay forfeited his ticket but gained an opportunity. That opportunity is this. He is going to receive up to $100 a month. I didn't say he was going to earn $100. He will earn up to $100 a month. He relinquished his ticket, but he's still going to receive an opportunity to earn up to $100 a month based on John's income. But he also, well, in this case, for the bonus, the matching bonus goes to Tom, Sue, Ed, and Bob. So you see how that works because you sponsored John, so the bonus passes up to Tom, Sue, Ed, and Bob. It's all predicated on who sponsors John, and that's where your matching bonus begins. Larry. Remember Larry? Well, Larry's position, again, pays you as a gold 100K PC, since he's a gold 100K PCs, 12 tiers of his compressed green and gold. Larry's position is also going to pay you a matching bonus from his total check, as you know. And Larry's position is going to pay Ed, who lost this ticket. He didn't use it, so you used it, but it's going to pay Ed up to $100 per month as a gold PC, gold 100 PC, not 100K, gold 100. Okay, and Larry's position also pays a matching bonus to Tom, Sue, Ed, and Bob. Why? Because you referred Larry, and that's where the match begins. You, Tom, Sue, Ed, and Bob. Okay? This is how we kind of get to understand how this whole thing plays out. Once again, Dan. Dan falls in another organization, right? However, still, Dan's position is going to pay you, same thing as a gold 100K PC, his 12 tiers of compressed gold and green 100 PCs. Dan's position is going to pay you a matching bonus again on his total check from his green and gold. And of course, Dan's position pays a matching bonus once again to Tom, Sue, Ed, and Bob. You refer Dan, match starts here, up 5 tiers. Okay. Also, Buddy, good old Buddy, where's Buddy? Buddy's here. He didn't use his green ticket, so he's the gold 100 PC and eligible to earn up to $100. Okay, up to 11 tiers of green and gold to Terry. Okay, Dan, now Terry benefits from Dan because it falls in Terry's line. So Terry's going to get up to 11 tiers of green and gold income, up to 10 tiers of green and gold to Sammy, up to 9 tiers of green and gold to Rich, and then continuing on so forth for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 tiers. So Dan helps grow the business and organizations of those directly above in that organization. You could begin to see why eventually, as this happens and solidifies, Buddy, Terry, Sam, Rich will never leave this company. The checks just keep getting bigger. Now let's look at Megan. And by the way, while this model is building itself out, the same thing holds with Mike. Mike, of course, was referred by you. Tom, Sue, Ed, and Bob, same 12 100K referral fees that go to you as well, your 12 tiers. All of that still plays through in Mike, and Mike's way over in Mary's organization. Well, Mary's going to receive what happens underneath here that's building, and as you'll see here, there's another organization that we're going to use as an example here, which is Megan. And let's say Megan, for our illustration, builds a organization that has 70,000 PCs. Okay, well, imagine what happens when and Megan, of course, may have come in through Mike. Mike built this organization. Megan goes on to build a huge organization. The same thing holds here. Who sponsored Mike? You did. You're going to benefit from Mike's match. Guess what? So is Tom, Sue, Ed, and Bob. And as this builds here, what happens here, and of course with Mary? They benefit as well because that's compressed green and gold income to them. So as this has now you're seeing basically the full chart as Mark originally had it. And this is the premise and the power of the gold rush. And as you understand it, and as you look at this, you begin to see why it is that it's okay that the computer places gold rush individuals that you refer into these various spots. First of all, you want to get those referrals into the program. The only way to do that in the gold rush is through unused green tickets. And those unused green tickets can fall anywhere in the 124 lineage. And that's how the system strengthens on its own. And the swinging gate now will allow for those people over here, let's say, that are doing the same thing to be able to place, or at least what will happen is the reciprocation of that, or the cross-pollination, as Mark likes to use, of gold individuals in your organization. That, folks, is the gold rush. And it's that premise by which all of this comes together.